Okay, so like right now I'm a bit confused about hypothesis. I'm not able to make many of them and not able to understand like how actually we should go and make hypothesis. I just tried making pivot tables and find the insight that I could find. Okay. Yeah. So like there was the first question was like find the customer preference analysis. Okay, so I thought it would be better that if we can find the C class preference and then the other service if they're availing or not, like if people are traveling for economy, so are they actually preferring extra meals or extra baggage. Okay, so this shows like the class distribution, because if people are paying for business class, obviously they'll they'll tend to pay for extra baggage as well, and if and also they'll pay for extra preferred seat as well. So yeah, this is what I found, that from business class. uh, uh, okay, so okay, yeah, in the premium economy people are like really mostly paying for extra baggage. I have just highlighted the maximum amounts.
Okay.
I might not be able to elaborate what I've found. Yeah, but if you can help me in this.
No, so I'm sorry to cut you off, Harsh,
Yeah,
but you
no.
are telling this is the count, number of people, right?
Yeah. Number of people.
Okay, so number of people who are opting for extra baggage in premium economy category is 18,695.
Yeah, the highest.
Okay, ठीक
Okay.
है.
And
But it's,
okay.
I mean, again, a question to you. How can, let's say, layman person understand this? These are just numbers. It's so much information for me that I can't comprehend what you were able to do. So, what would be a better way to represent it?
Uh, okay. I was short in time. That's why I couldn't find the exact like
It's fine.
the
Now you
way.
can think of it. What would be a better way to represent this particular graph and data?
I guess the pie chart would be better for each of the services. Like
But
we
how would
have.
you compare those pie chart with each other? Think about it. There are two variables. One is the seat class, one is the extra baggage. Pie chart will cover only one variable, or you will have to have that pie chart where there is a bigger pie. Inside those bigger pie, you can create smaller pies.
Uh,
Right. So, any simpler approach that you can think for it?
we can either go for bar graph.
Hmm.
Okay, and stacked bar graph would be better
Exactly.
because
A
yeah.
stacked bar graph would be a good fit for this.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, no need to say sorry and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
And we are learning only, right? So
Yeah.
if you think about the stacked bar graph, right? So it would be 100%. Out of those 100%, some would be zero, some would be one. That means
Okay.
some are not preferring, some are preferring, and
Okay.
it would be stacked line wise. Correct. So
Yeah.
you can analyze this, and this, which is basically for business economy and premium economy, and then see which one has a higher extra baggage opting policy. Okay. But yeah, okay, cool. Anything else, Harsh, that you want to share from this?
Yeah, just one more thing. There was some question where we had to find the passenger load efficiency. I don't know if it is okay. No, so it was not related to any specific question. I just found this that the okay, the if people like okay, the people who are opting different devices, internet or mobile, or if like are they able to complete the booking or not. Okay,
Hmm.
so it basically shows that people who are using internet to book tickets, basically they're not able to complete, or they're not completing. Basically the churn rate is high on
Hmm.
internet platforms for the for flight booking comparatively to mobile, because okay, yeah.
Hmm. There's some
So
issue over here, no, Harsh?
yeah.
What's the issue? You are taking the percentages from the whole data set, right? Because internet has so many values compared to mobile, it is a skewed data. The
Okay.
better way to represent this would have been that you would have taken the percentages of the grand total of row. So let's say row में 100 है, ठीक है? For
Yeah.
internet, out of that it would be 80%, 20%. Same for the
Grand.
next one. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
if you see, It is almost same, although mobile has a higher churn rate if you see.
Yeah, okay.
Getting my point?
So where did I go wrong here?
You didn't go. First of all, this particular analysis seems much more accurate, as in this particular visualization seems much more accurate because you are doing apple to apple comparison, right?
Okay,
So that's the first thing. Second thing is, since the data delta between mobile and internet is so huge that it becomes sort of an issue. Whereas there would be a very small amount of mobile people, and I think it is less than 1,000 or 2,000 if I'm not wrong, right? Compared to 45,000 people who are using internet, right? So
okay,
comparing these two folks on a very smaller data set for the mobile would not that be accurate,
okay,
right? So I would have preferred some other variables come rather than the internet and mobile because the difference between data is very huge.
okay,
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you got the point that whenever you are showcasing data, never do in terms of grand total. I mean, not never do, but for this
okay,
particular case, it would be more of a row cut total.
okay. Yeah, got.
Cool. Any other thing that you want to showcase?
I made few, but I don't think so. Like I'll
Check.
be able to
No
see.
worries. All right. Let's go to room number 8 also. We had Dimple, Lakshmi, Kavya, and Akashti. If any one of you please can go ahead and let us know what you did.
Yeah, actually, have not. Most of us have not attended the last session. So actually, we were trying to clean up some data, and we have just discussed the orally about the things and how
Mhm.
this works. So not much to share here, I guess, sir. So
ठीक है, कोई
yeah.
बात नहीं, no worries, it's fine. Any other group who has done some sort of analysis want to showcase, is interested in showcasing? No? ठीक है. But I'll give you homework. So you will have to do it. Not leaving you these this easily.
Arshid,
Yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, we were in group 7, and initially we were not able to identify exactly how should we start on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we started on checking the data, cleaning up the data first,
Mm-hmm.
and from from the deck that you shared, the presentation deck in which the questions were present. So we identified that uh, to discuss about the revenue, we need to first answer at least one of the questions. We need to come up with some metric to answer the questions mentioned. Right, one of the questions mentioned, out of five.
Okay. Hmm.
We picked up one question, that is type of trips and their preferences.
Okay.
So we tried to come up with the numbers that come like every trip had, or trip type had, and then segregating um, those customers, those passengers were preferring economy or seat, like seat types. So
Okay.
we reached the time was over, and we reached to the conclusion that uh, so many passengers are preferring so and so class and
Nice.
going to the trip. But then jumping on to the conclusion where we link, like revenue is linked to uh, the segregation we did.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guide on that part, like how
Sure,
do we
sure, sure.
jump to revenue from
Yeah, I
these
got your
categories?
point. Okay, okay, clear. Let me actually go ahead and start from this part rather than moving to this. Okay. Okay, so what we will do first is try to understand how exactly the data analysis actually works. Okay, so let me open a sheet, and over here I'll just explain you quickly. I don't have, sorry, the presentation. I thought this would have been clear, but yeah. Whenever you get certain sort of data, okay, as of now, these are very smaller data set. So to work on them, it is very easy. But when you go to certain organizations or start working as a data analyst, you will have huge data, GBs of data, right? And even the data is in GBs, that's fine. The problem is there are so many categories. There would be demographic sort of data, there would be actionable sort of data, there would be data which is internal data, and so on. Now the problem is ki bhai, which particular data I should go ahead and start analyzing. Chalo, I got to know that I want to analyze the demography data. Now think for a company like Amazon, Flipkart, where users are in millions. Would you directly go and start analyzing the data for all the millions of users? No, doesn't make sense. So you will have to first start making segments. How you will make those segments? You will make those segments using something called as impact mapping. Okay? So I'll go very slow and then I'll proceed ahead. It might take some extra time, 1.5 hours. So please bear with me. And at the point you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Okay? So think about a case, right, where we have Amazon. Okay? And you have been tasked to increase the number of, let's say, reviews on Amazon. Increase the number of reviews. Why you want to increase the reviews is the first question you may ask. Very simply, if I just simply think from first principles, I know that if I give more reviews, there would be more people who can make informed decision. Since they are making informed decision, it becomes easier for them to buy the product. Since it has become easier for them to buy the product, my conversion rate will increase and hence my revenue will increase. Hai? Think about it, right? I'll ask you guys only. So let's say there are two websites. Okay? One is Amazon, one is some XYZ. And both have same product, both have same mobile. On Amazon, you have 4.3 rating of that phone, but 10,000 ratings. 4.3 is the star rating, but it is given by 10,000 plus users. This is, let's say, Amazon. Whereas there is another platform. The rating over there is 4.9, but it is only given by 5 people. This is, let's say, XYZ platform. On which of these platforms you have more confidence? Amazon or this XYZ? Amazon, right? Why? Because you are trusting on the basis of the fact that more people have bought this product and they have given more average rating over here. That's the first use case. Also think about it. Why I keep on asking you about feedback at the end of the session. Please give me feedback. Why? It's in some form of review only, right? So that you give me feedback. I want to know why exactly I lagged, why exactly I was not able to deliver the session. In the next session, I'll improve. So that product improvement comes into the picture. Right? At the end of the product, it is given that okay, this OnePlus phone screen, OnePlus phone cameras are not good. So whenever they will be launching the new product, of course, they will improve that part so that more customer satisfaction increases and thus the whole more people start buying the product. Right? So that's the overall goal of improving the number of reviews over here. Okay? This is clear. Now I want to increase the number of reviews. I need some data. I need some of the historical data. Who all are these people who are reviewing my product? When they are reviewing the product? After buying the product, turant they are reviewing, or after 1 week, 2 weeks? Is it that they are only reviewing when the product is very poor? Or is it that they are reviewing all the times? Right? So these are smaller categories of the data that you will have. But Amazon have millions of customers. I can't go ahead and run the query. It will just break. So for that, I need to make some segment. How will I make the segment? What's the process of making the segment? Right? There are certain segments that you can remember. The first segment could be in form of a demography. Demography, if you want to understand very simply, from where the person is, the geography you can think. Okay? What is the age of that person? Okay? What is the income level of that person? All these things comes under the demography part. Tells about the human. The second thing is behavioral. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong or putting it wrong, but behavior tells you that how this particular person actually uses your particular website. Is it that when the Amazon Prime's that great Indian sales comes, then only he becomes active? Or is it that all the time they are active? What exactly is the behavior of this user? Is it that they come to your website 5-6 times, see the product and then buy the product, or turant in the first go they buy the product? All these things are behavior sort of platform segments, right? The next things comes in form of RFM, which is your recency, frequency, and monetization. Okay? To explain you very simply, monetization means how much money are they able to spend on your platform. Okay? I will never go ahead and buy some product of 1 lakh or above on Amazon. I don't trust. I have to go to physical platform only. Okay? How frequently they come to your platform? Is it that, for example, the frequency for Blinkit, for Instamart would be very, very high? Every now and then you will check. Whereas for Amazon, Flipkart, it would be a bit larger. Correct? How longer they stay on your platform? Is it that for once you buy the product and it's like a goodbye, I will never come to Amazon? What is the recency of your particular platform? So you can segment in this particular part as well. The fourth comes as loyalty. Okay. Loyalty ka, think about whether they are Prime users, whether they are Zomato Gold users, and so on. So you can segment these two users as well. If I have bought Amazon Prime, I don't think so I'll ever go to Flipkart and buy something because the services are too good. Okay, so you can segment in this particular segment as well. And the final thing which I can remember is the device attributes. Device attributes as in, are they using Android, iOS, Windows, which operating systems, MacBook, Windows, yeah, that thing only. What else? Yeah, these things, like the device attributes part. So you can start dividing these users into these things. That's the first step that you can do. Now, let's say you have divided these users into this step. Then what next? Then you have to choose that which one you want to go ahead and do the analysis on. I'll give you a small example, right? All of us have went to the school. In the school, you would have seen that there used to be a smaller groups that the teacher or the classroom itself would have made. That if there is any competition, if there is any quiz competition in district, na, these topper 1, 2, 3 will always go and do the competition. If there is any district sports level competition, this particular bunch of folks, na, they came first, second, third in the sports, and these will go. If there is some art and craft competition, these folks will. What exactly is that? They are making segmentation. Why they are making segmentation? Because it becomes very easy for me to see, okay, this person is doing good over here, might do well over there as well. Right? That's the segmentation. Now the question comes, which particular segmentation should I choose? It becomes a function of what problem you are trying to solve. If I am trying to win the quiz competition, I can't send the sports people over there. No, it doesn't make sense. So what is the actual problem? First, you have to identify that. Once you have identified that, then you can send out the right people over there. Okay. So clear? There are two functions: finding the right problem, finding the right segmentation. Okay. Now let's go over here. Cool. Now let's say that Indigo Airlines is the problem. Oh, sorry, not the problem, is the company. And the problem is that we want to increase revenue. Okay? Revenue in itself is a metric. Now, if I ask you guys, ki bhai, all of you, let's say, are part of Nextleap. This is your day one. I'm asking Gaurav, I'm asking Vaishali, how would you increase the revenue? Do you have direct answer for that? Why you not have the direct answer? Why do you not have the direct answer? Because it is a metric that is so huge. It is a function of so many things that you are not aware of which one to target. And once you are not aware of that the actionable metric that you want to target, you are just hitting darks in the dark, right? There might be chances that you can get the right answer, but majority of the time it would be wrong because you are not sure where exactly you have to target. Okay, to do so, to make sure that you are putting efforts in the right direction, you have to first of all break down your metrics into smaller parts and reach to a particular step which we call technical terms as actionable outcomes, where you have control over, where if you do certain things you can probably change the human behavior who are using your product and thus increase your key business outcome. Okay, think about it. Okay, I'll just show you quickly that if I have revenue, I can simply break down the revenue of Indigo Airline into two parts. One is how many people are booking on, how many people have booked on the Indigo, multiplied by what is the average cost. That's the only way. Of course, there can be multiple ways, but simply this is the way. Now, if you want to break down the number of passengers completing the booking, how can you break it down? You can break it down into two parts. That is how many people are coming on Indigo and how many people are actually paying. That conversion rate. Correct? So either you can increase the number of people coming on Indigo or increase the percentage of successful booking. There are only two ways which you can approach this. Now you can go ahead and break down this tree. Number of people coming on Indigo. It is a function of the awareness that how many people actually know about Indigo, and it is a function of how many people are actually landing on your page. Right? So to boost the awareness, you see all the ads, you see all the ads on Meta, Instagram, and so on. Correct? You see all the events that are happening. So these are just to increase the awareness. Whereas you will also see that more people should come on my platform. So you will also see that people are giving offers. And also you might have seen this thing whenever you are using, let's say, Google Pay, Phone Pay, there are ads over there that get 3,000 rupees discount on your first flight. Why exactly they are doing it? Exactly. More people should come on Indigo. So there is one tree that you can break down from here. There is another tree that you can break down, that more people should complete the successful payment, right? So if I go on Indigo quickly, note down these steps. Note down these steps. Let's say I'm visiting Goa, and this is the first step where I have put down all the details. It will showcase me all the information of different flights. This is the first flight. I can select it. Then it will ask me about my details. So I'll just quickly put down my details. Okay. Where's my this thing? I have added all the details. Then there are certain add-ons that they're giving me, asking me to pay this much, and I can get all these different things. I don't want any of it. I go ahead, I select one seat, let's say this seat, and proceed ahead. Cool. These are the steps that I have taken. So if you see, I want to increase the percentage of successful booking. That means I am at this page. If I can click on this UPI, put my UPI and pay it, this number will increase, percentage of successful booking, correct? So this particular percentage of successful booking becomes a function of how many people are coming on this page multiplied by how many people are actually paying. Getting my point? The percentage of successful booking becomes a function of two things. One, how many people are actually coming on this page, and how many people are actually paying. So either you have to increase number of people who are coming on this page, or you have to increase the percentage. So how many people are coming on this page, this payment page, is a function of how many people actually did all the previous things and then came on this particular page. Correct? So that's how the whole chain reaction starts. That if I can somehow make this page very simple, if a older person comes over here and sees these many options, I don't think so what he will do. Right? Would be very confusing. So you will then start analyzing, okay, people are coming on this page, but they are not moving ahead. And I'll tell you a very quick this thing. Interesting insight that I saw. It is few years back. What Indigo started doing was that until and unless you don't select the seats, you will not proceed ahead. And people used to drop off at this particular point because the free seats would not be there. You have to pay some extra like 500, 600 rupees, and then only you move ahead. So people used to start dropping from this particular page. They would be like, okay, I'll book from somewhere else, and I'll get my seat from directly from the wherever you give your check-in luggage. That insight sort of came, right? How that insight came? Because you analyzed the data, you saw that people are, whenever they are looking at the seats, there is no empty seat. They just close the app. Okay, so this is how you break down the problem. Similarly, if you see, we have also broke down the problem over here, which is on the sales part. So if you just very simply consider sales, sales is a function of three things: taxes, your base fare, and your additional services. If you want to break down the base, it is what is the average base fare of each seat class. So think about, for business, it would be a little higher, for premium economy, it would be a little bit lower, and so on. And multiplied by percentage of booking in each seat class. So if I go here, I'm sorry for switching so many tabs, but yeah, let's say I have business, premium economy, and economy. The price of this is 15K, 10K, and 5K. Okay, the actual booking over here is 10%. Over here, let's say it is 40%. It is over here 50%. This is the case. Suppose there is enough supply. I have more business class seats. I have more premium economy seats in the flights. So if I somehow increase more people booking this business class, instead of 10, it becomes 50. This becomes 35. This becomes, let's say, 35. So it's equal only. More premium economy people should book the business class seats, or more economy people should book the premium economy seats. If I can somehow do these things, then my percentage in each sitting class will increase. If this will increase, my average base fare will increase. If this increase, my average sales will increase, and so on, my revenue will also increase. I have now broken down the problem very well into certain actionable metrics, which is how I can increase my percentage of booking in each seat class and percentage of booking with additional services. And I want to show you quickly one thing. Why do you think so these people are doing this? Ki bhai, pay only 315 rupees and get benefits of 4,900. See the thing, you get complimentary meal and you get complimentary seat, which is what? Which is you increasing this number. Why they are doing this? Because if you just simply track it down to the start, it will increase their revenue. They're actually making money out of these services, So that's how you break down the problem actually. Using these things, they got to know, okay, these are something which I can pull ahead and hence get the more money. Clear till this point? This is the first component of breaking down the problem. Give me a yes, no, if it is clear till this point. Yes. All right. Now comes the second part. The second part was the segmentation. Okay. I know that I have to now increase the percentage of booking in each seat class. Very much clear. But for whom? Millions of people travel every year. For whom should I increase it? So I'll have to look at the segmentation. Okay. How can I look at the segmentation? Of course, I can break it down into these few parameters. Once I have broken down into these few parameters, then I can do the impact mapping. Impact mapping. What is impact mapping, you may ask? Impact mapping depends on two things. Okay? It depends on two things. One is the segment size. Another is the probability of success. Two things. Okay, think about it. I'll just give you a quick example also maybe. Let's take next sleep example because you all are aware of it. Okay. Now, there are the key goal of next sleep, right? The actual motto of next sleep is that we have to make sure that whatever learner comes, they actually land the role that they want to aspire or that they took the course for. This is the key motto. Okay, there is no target group that we have as of now. So people from all the different segments are coming. There are two segments. First segment is S1, second segment is S2. The first segment is fresher, right out of college. Okay, with full energy. So these are freshers. And they are taking data/business analyst course. So DAF and BAF. Okay? All of have the aspiration of moving to data or business analyst domain. Okay? Another group is a little senior. They have 15 plus years of experience in non-tech domain. Think about operations, sales, and so on. These sort of experience. And they are also taking the course and wants to move to DAF/BAF domain. Okay. For now, let's say I have equal domain size, 100 learners over here, 100 learners over here. Where do you think you would like to focus your attention on so that your actual motto of next leap gets achieved? In the first segment or in the second segment?
I would say data is not enough to figure out which segment is better out here.
Okay. What data you need? I'll be helping you over there.
I mean, it kind of works on the previous years, how they've worked on it. So based on that, probably it'll always be helpful which segment did better and how we can go further in the next segment as well.
Sure. So I'll give you two data points over here. The first data point is that NextLeap itself is able to place students only at the junior data analyst or data analyst particular point. And second thing is they have only worked in operations and sales, never used any sort of data, never used any sort of platform as such. Although they might have bit knowledge of Excel, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I would go with segment 1.
Segment 1, okay. What's the reason behind that?
So, yeah, go ahead.
Gaurav, you can go ahead.
Okay. So for me, I think first of all, the next leap would be trying to place the candidates on entry level jobs. So and they are also like the talent would be developed with the latest information on the market as well. So it would be a bit easier for the freshers to get placed, while segment 2 already is operating on like operations and sales, might be aware of Excel, but then they might not be able to adapt to the new trends. My reason.
Right. If you think just simply logically, whatever Gaurav mentioned is actually the case, right? Placing someone who is right out of fresher in actual setting is very, very easy compared to someone who already has experience, right? Although this generally depends on the data points. So even before, by the way, whatever we just did was the probability of success wala part. So the probability of success over here would be 0.7, let's say. I'm just giving example. Over here it would be 0.1. So I can, out of 100, I have high capability of placing down 70 students, whereas it is over here 10 only. So of course, my target would be to do this thing. Okay. This generally comes from the data, that whatever previous trends that you have, what actually is the case. But for now, it's something like this. Okay. Now we have understood how to break down the problem and which particular segment to target. That's when you start and actually do the analysis. After these steps. Okay. So this is like the initial part. Why it's important is because it will actually tell you what to analyze. You know how to proceed ahead. Cool. This was the first session's quick recap. Now let's move to the next one. Okay. So we have this particular data. Of course, the first step to whenever you start the data analysis is actually to do the data cleaning, processing, and so on before moving to the analysis. But since this data is almost fully clean, So we move ahead. Although if you want, I can explain all the data analysis steps. Just want a quick note. Did Sahil cover the outlier part in the last class? Outlier, data cleaning, removing duplicates, removing...
Yes.
Clear, na? ठीक है, cool. Yes, ठीक है, perfect. So those are the things that you can also implement over here, although this data is entirely clean.
No,
you
sorry.
have...
So have we completed that part of segment size and probability of success thing, or are you going to explain how that is coming into picture with this?
Yeah, so over here, not today. Why? Because the data set is very, very small. We'll be working on a Uber case study probably next week or next to next week. There we have this particular part.
Okay.
In this session, it was more on breaking down the problem. In the next, it would be finding the right segment, like that.
Right. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. All right, cool. This thing is done. Now what we go ahead, let's say you have identified the problem. You have identified that I have to increase my percentage of booking with additional services. For that, you have to start defining certain hypotheses. Okay, you have to start defining certain hypotheses. Now to define the hypothesis, very simply, you can think from what actually could have been the case with Indigo at a very broad level. So my hypothesis for the first step would be that business class is actually contributing maximum to the revenue. Now the thing with hypothesis is that it could be either true or it could be false. If it is true, then you drill down deeper. You go a lot deeper in identifying ki bhai, why business class is contributing maximum to the revenue of Indigo. If it is wrong, either you will get an answer that, okay, business class is not the case, then it would be either someone from economy or premium economy. So you do that analysis and then go deep down. Okay? So on the similar lines, we are doing this particular analysis. What I did was exactly whatever I just mentioned. So I have written it over here. My first hypothesis is, since we are focusing a lot more on the percentage of booking with additional services, I took that particular part only. My hypothesis is that passengers who are opting for extra baggage, they have higher booking amount. Okay, that's the hypothesis. What I will do is, I will first of all check whether this hypothesis is true or not. How can I check it? I have simply made a table where average booking amount is there and there is a yes or a no. If extra baggage is taken, yes. If extra baggage is not taken, then no. Can anyone tell me which function should work over here? What's the best function to use? I have to calculate the average.
Average equals to average.
Equal to what?
Average AVG.
Equal to average ifs, right? So I can use average if. Okay, what average if is asking me? It is asking me for three things. First, second, third. First is the criteria range. Oh, you are telling? Oh, yeah. No. Okay. So what is the criteria range? The criteria range is that want extra baggage column should be 1. है ना? Want extra baggage should be 1. Then only you will get the yes wala part. And what I have to average? I have to average my booking amount. Is this the right number? 4265.3. Is this the right average booking amount? If not, then why? And if yes, then to yes.
Why? We have to consider whether the booking is completed or not. So.
Beautiful. Exactly, right? If you see that there are so many zeros over here, and then you will see certain booking amount. See what happens, right? 0, 0, 0, 2. Now the average of this number, although this is what? This is that the booking amount has not happened. Okay, it's not happened. So the average of this particular data would be 2. But since we are using average, if I do it, it is coming as 0.5. So it counts 0 also. So I have to remove it. Why I have to remove it? Because the booking completion over here should be 1. So there are 2 conditions. The first condition is that my want extra baggage is 1. And the second condition is that booking complete is also 1. then only I will proceed ahead. So instead of average if, I have to use average ifs with a S. Okay? Average ifs. What it is asking me? It is asking me for an average range. So I'll go here and select the average range, comma, criteria range 1. Criteria range 1 is this. It should be 1, comma, criteria range 2. Criteria range 2 should be again 1. Enter. This is the right number. This is the right average. 25,592. Same thing I'll copy and paste it over here. But instead of this 1, I'll make it 0. Oh, sorry. What I'm doing wrong? MM क्या है भाई? Okay. 0 only will come now. Why it's throwing error?
Is equal to
There are 2 equal to's. Yes. Okay. Now the average booking amount when the extra baggage preference is yes is 25K. When it is no, it is 21K. My hypothesis is it's true, right? There's a 4,000 gap and you are operating in millions. This tells me it's true. Okay. Is this the insight? No, this is not the insight. This is just a data point. How do we go ahead and get the insight from this? We'll have to go a level deeper. How can we go a level deeper? Well, it's not the only way. I'm just clarifying again, but this is something that works generally. Okay. There are 4 things that you can think of and can potentially go ahead and start making the hypothesis for. One is the why. Asking the why exactly this could have been the case. The second thing, on the basis of the demographic, behavior, and geographic parameters. The third one is the time-based analysis. Is it happening for a particular time frame or whole duration itself? And the final one is this: what else could, basically the external factors. Anything that all the Indigo airlines have shut down, that's why I'm increasing over here. Some government issues, some political issues, and so on. Okay? These are few factors in which you can think of. Cool. The first one is asking why. Have you all heard about this not framework analysis only, called as 5 why analysis? Have you all heard about 5 why analysis? No? No? Okay. Not heard? Okay. So, if you just read a bit about case studies, by the way, this is something that I potentially see will cover in the interview preparation wala module. But there's something called as 5 why analysis. 5 why analysis is you asking whys 5 times to a problem. For example, why sales of OnePlus mobile phone have gone down? Oh, sorry. I mean, the statement is that OnePlus mobile sales have gone down. Why? That's the first question that you would ask. Because other companies have occupied this particular market. Second, why? Why other folks have occupied this particular market? Because the other flagship phones price have gone down compared to OnePlus. Why? Because they are manufacturing their phones in India itself. Why? Because OnePlus phone is a Chinese company and hence the operation of them is not possible in India. So the actual problem was that OnePlus sales have gone down. Well, not the actual problem. The problem in the starting was that OnePlus sales have gone down. But since you keep on asking those why 5 times, you reached to an actual problem. It is that it is a Chinese company. Indians have restricted Chinese companies to manufacture in India, and that's why other companies, let's say from Korean and American, have got good market in India, and their sales have increased. You see my point, right? So you are asking these why continuously until and unless you reach to an actual problem. Same thing you do over here itself. Why exactly customers are paying extra baggage to Indigo Airlines? Why exactly are they choosing the extra baggage? What could be the case? Anyone? Why generally people choose extra baggages?
Traveling for a long time.
Yeah, traveling for a long time, long duration, right? Beautiful. I actually also wrote this as my first instinct, right? So passengers opt for extra baggage when they are traveling for a longer duration. Okay. Now let's see whether this is true or not. Let's try to identify it. How can I identify it? There are again a table that I have created. First table is whether the extra baggage preference is yes or no, and the travel duration is greater 9 or less than 9 or not. Why 9? I can explain you a little later, but yeah, it's an overnight flight. That's what I have taken. Okay. Why not 8 also? Why not 9 also? I can explain you a bit later. Let's try to find out whether this is true or not. So the average, or let's say this would be count, right? How many people are actually going ahead with this? So count ifs, whether this is true or not. There is a criteria range. The criteria range is want extra baggage. It would be 1, comma, my flight duration actual should be greater than equal to 9 hours. 9 hours. Yep. Yeah. So 17,930 people carry their extra baggage when travel duration is greater than 9 hours. Okay. I'll copy this formula, paste it over here, and let's see what happens. Okay. It is less than 9, so I'll make it less than 9. Rest everything remains the same. Copy it over here. It will become 0, huh? Because extra baggage is 0. No, over here. So it will become 0. It remains same. And over here you go and paste. It becomes less than 9. Whenever you are not getting any formula, let me know. Okay. And it becomes 0. Why 0? Because it is again. See this data. Whatever hypothesis that I had is becoming true. That people, whenever they are traveling for a greater duration, actually are in a larger number. And opposite is also true, if you see. If the travel duration is less than 9 hours, more people are not preferring extra baggage compared to yes. So this hypothesis stands true. I got a level deeper. So people actually are paying higher for extra baggage. Who all are these people? These are the people whenever they are traveling for a longer duration. Again, a why. You can again ask a why over here. Okay. So this is the first thing that came to my mind, but this is a bit of your task or your job to find it. Think about it as your homework and get another level deeper. I was also thinking from another perspective that whenever they are going for a longer stay duration, that's when they are taking extra baggage with them. So whenever the duration of stay is greater than 15 days, see this. For yes, it is 19,000 people compared to 13, and opposite is almost that much. That whenever it is less than 15 days, no people or twice people are not carrying baggage compared to greater than 15 days. Again, the truth came. Right? So that's how you go ahead and analyze the data. Don't directly jump into analyzing anything. Because we moved in a very step-by-step manner, we are actually starting to get certain insights. That, okay, longest today, they are taking baggage. Longer duration, they are taking baggage. Then I can, figure out something for them. Okay? Interesting, right? All right. I would really request everyone to please go ahead and do this. I'll share the sheet and go a level deeper. This is just 1.2, 1.3 level, but go till 1.4, 1.5. There are lots of variables that you can look at. Okay, lots of variables. So try to find out. My hypothesis was that they were taking their own flight meals. Although this is a very stupid hypothesis because in longer duration you get the food. But yeah, you can look for better hypothesis over here. Okay, I actually wanted to show you that hypothesis could be wrong as well. That's all. Yes, please go ahead.
Harshit, so the first hypothesis which you came up with was like, um, how did you come up with like just you didn't look at the data or anything, you just came in like, okay, people with extra baggage have average bookings amount more.
Yeah, I didn't look at data, but I looked at this particular KPI tree. So I know that I have to increase this percentage of booking. I want to actually see and go ahead. I want to actually go ahead and see that whether this book extra baggage is actually impacting my revenue or not. If it is impacting the revenue, then I will go ahead and drill down on this. If it is not impacting, then there is no point in going it. That's a one way to look at it. Although there is another way, which is called as the descriptive analysis that you do beforehand. Okay. So while working with Python, right, in that case, you will learn that at the first step itself, you will find out what is the mean, between 80%, median of some of the key metrics that you want to look at. And if you see certain changes over there, of course, you will go ahead and start to analyze those particular parts. So both are equally relevant over here. I hope I answered Gaurav and Harsh. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm confused about the hypothesis. Like, how do I actually go and think and find the exact? Okay, so basically, hypothesis is assumption, an assumption. Okay,
Yes.
so how do I even get to the point where I actually think, okay, this could be the reason for having, like, this could be the X because that is affecting the Y task or Y activity.
Yeah, that's why this particular KPI tree is important, right? See, in the end, we are looking at increasing the revenue. I want to identify those metrics where I could actually influence my revenue or the key metric, right? Once how I did that, I divided this metric into smaller components and reach to a point where I can see, okay, this is where I have confidence and also the data. I have booking in each seat class data and additional services data also. Okay, that's the first step. Now from there, you have to actually think from, okay, whether this particular whatever I have done is actually true or not. So my first hypothesis, if you see, is very simple, that extra baggage is contributing to more revenue compared to when extra baggage is not there. I want to actually see whether this is true or not. Probably the extra baggage number is very less. There are only few people who are doing it. Although it might contribute to a bit of more revenue, but I will then again focus on rest of the folks rather than the extra baggage folks. But that was also not the case. Why? Because we just saw that more people are actually booking the extra baggages. Okay, so I'm thinking from that perspective.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, again, I understand your point, which is it generally comes in the initial days of analyzing where there is a mental block in terms of how should I proceed ahead. It's fine. That's why initially only I mentioned that your hypothesis can be wrong, which is fine. But keep on making those hypotheses and then going deeper rather than just randomly doing any analysis. It will save you time as well as also develop your thinking of what type analysis you can probably do.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's a request for everyone, which is you can potentially go ahead and start doing deeper level hypothesis and come up with the insights. Okay, I'll share the sheets and you can pick off it. There's one more thing, interesting thing that I have planned, which was on the operational efficiency. And I somehow got the insights for it, I'll be very honest. But yeah, how I got it is something that I want to showcase. My hypothesis was that whenever Indigo is the top 10% routes where Indigo is operating, there the flight duration variance would be a lot higher. Okay, because again, because of the congestion, because of so many flights going, coming, and the time between those flights is very less. So that's why the variance might be a bit large. That's what the hypothesis was. Okay, what I did first was to find the top 10% flights. Okay, top 10% flights, or not top 10% flights, top 10% routes where Indigo operates. Okay, how I did that, I'll just delete this for now, or actually make a duplicate. Okay, or I can delete this as well. Let's start from beginning only. So I have so many routes over here. See this, huh? So many routes. Auckland, Delhi. I don't know what this is, but yeah. So many routes. Okay. So first of all, there are routes which are repeating. Auckland, Delhi, Auckland, Delhi, Auckland, Delhi, right? I want to actually find out the unique routes. Then only I can do the analysis of counting. Na? That's the first step. So first of all, I want to identify the unique routes. How can I identify the unique routes? What function should I use?
Unique.
Unique, right? Name suggests that. Unique. So I'll use unique. What unique does is it will give you the unique functions. Okay, beautiful. Now, next thing is I want to calculate the top 10% operated route of Indigo Airlines. For that, I want to first actually see that how many flights are operating in this route. So how many flights are operating? That means I'll be counting. So that's what I can do. Count if in range you do this, comma, what is the criteria, bhai? The criteria is Auckland, Delhi. Okay, 20 flights, and you can just simply scroll it down. Got the answer? Badhiya, beautiful. Okay, now what we can do, I have to calculate the top 10%. Do you all know the concept of percentiles? Percentiles, all of you know? If not, I can quickly explain percentiles. Or actually, you can directly see also over here. Everyone clear? So should I directly move ahead and do it? Okay, I'm directly doing it. Okay. So I'll be calculating percentiles. What percentile will tell me that if I have someone from 90 to 100 percentile, that is my top 10. And that's what top 10% operated routes would be. So for that, I have a function called as percent rank. I believe this is the function. The data is from here to here, comma, I'll select the value, which is this. I'll just fix this thing. To fix it, you use F4. And you can then simply go ahead and do this. Select everything, put a filter, and you can sort it by Z2. Okay. Why it's not happening is because you will have to do this. No, it will happen. Okay. So my top 10 percentile, top 10% routes are Auckland, KUL, and so on. Okay. So it is still this point. Where is this point? Yeah. I'll also tell you why I chose top 10. Huh? Just give me 1 second. These are all my top 10% operated routes. Have you all have heard about a term? I know I'm sharing so many information, but if there's anything, please let me know, right? Have you all have heard about Pareto principle, 80-20% rule? Pareto principle, 80-20. Know this particular term?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, same reason. I'm just using 90-10. For those who don't know, 80-20% rule is that 20% of, and I'll give you example also, right? Let's say Amazon, their 20% of the items are contributing 80% of the revenue. So if anything breaks, if the revenue actually goes down, you first look at those 20% of the items. And then you look at the other rest. Yeah, that's very simply the rule. So that's why I have also chosen this thing, that let's first look at top 10% of the operated routes. And if there is any issue, then we can look at the whole data also. The top 10% operated routes are this. Copy this. Let's paste it over here. And you are going to love it. I'm telling you. Okay? We have all these flights. Flight duration variance is greater for top 10% Indigo operated routes. So first of all, this I have written down. Now I have to calculate the variance. Variance is what? Variance is that what is the actual flight duration planned and what was the planned flight duration and what was the actual flight duration. Okay. So let's quickly go here. And what we can do is, how can I do this? How do I do this? If this particular range, no. Okay, how do I do this? I want to know the flight duration for Auckland to Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so what I can do is I can do the average of this minus the average of that case. Average if criteria range is this, comma. I'll just explain you how I did this. Just quickly let me write the formula, comma. What is the average range? Average range is first I will have to calculate the actual. This minus. I'll copy this whole thing, paste it over here, and instead of RR, I'll make it PP. P and P. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, looks good. Cool. And now I can just simply do it. This is the data that I got. I'll just paste it as values. What happened over here? Yeah. Circular dependency. Okay. Yeah, sorted. What I can do is I can just select the whole data, put a filter, and let's see. Okay. Here the average variance is 1.8 for these routes. That's one segment. Again, for this, it is 1.78. These are my highly varied routes. Okay. Come on. Can anyone tell me, is there any sort of pattern that you see over here?
KIX is the last stop.
Exactly, right?
Most of the.
So there is an airport called as KIX, which is what airport? The Kansai airport in, I don't know where. This particular airport is the place where you are seeing majority of the variance coming from. Also, over here also you will see that ICN is repeating. This ICN is also the issue, which is a South Korea airport. Right? So I can definitely see that variance is coming from these top operated flights, and the actual problem seems to be coming from this KIX airport and ICN airport. What next? Is this the insight? Of course, a bit of it, but why? Why this particular thing is coming is something that I want to look at. Is it that these flights are getting operated from these airports in morning only and there is so much rush? What could be the issue? Let's try to find that out. And here's the second hypothesis which I wrote down, right? On the basis of that only, the things which I showed you earlier, right? The hypothesis was that flight duration, peak time, morning have higher variance due to congestion. I want to know that. Is it because in the morning there is so much peak congestion and that's why they are getting delayed? Or is it same across the day, night, evening, and so on? I have the data. I have the data for this flight hours. Flight hour at what particular time of the day they are taking off. On the basis of that, I calculated a quick day segment, which is month, night, evening, and so on. Once I calculated this, I did the analysis and it was same across it. This is a bit of a fabricated data. So you are seeing that it is same across it. So my hypothesis is wrong. That's not the right thing that is happening. It could be because of some another reason. There I can go ahead and look at for another reasons by doing any other hypothesis from this. Getting my point, right? On the similar grounds, there are few more analysis that we have done. So you can look at these. But before looking at these hypotheses, I would highly request everyone to follow this structure and make your hypothesis, do the analysis, and then again share the sheets. I would be really happy to review them. But yeah, please requesting everyone to do this. That's how you will actually learn. And the same approach, I would request you all to put into your milestone 1 or milestone 3, the Flipkart milestone. Okay, that's also an interesting project, but do this in the step-by-step manners. Yes, Harsh, you have raised your hand.
No, sorry, I was giving thumbs up actually.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is what I had planned for today. Any questions? Happy to take them, and please let me know how was the session also. And if you're interested, we can possibly do it now. Also, I have like few minutes. Okay. Any questions? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. If yes, good. The next week we have a Uber case study, a bit complicated case study, and I'll be honest, that was asked in one of the top level companies. Okay, so that's the actual case study that was asked in a top level company. Okay, so we'll be working on those particular case studies, and yeah, it's on demand and supply. So I really love that topic. So let's do that. And post that, we will have something called as cohort and funnel analysis next week, which again is more from the business side. So we will learn those things. Can you share the sheet? Absolutely. You can just have the sheets. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm here for next 5-10 minutes. For any discussions, feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat.